Hi children, welcome to Easy Economics. Today I am explaining the important topic in the second unit. In the second unit name is Demography and Human Resource Development. In this unit we are going to study the population, size of the population, growth rate of the population, etc. Children, comparing to all the resources, human resources will play an important role in the to decide the economic development or economic welfare of a economy. Why? Because human resources play a significant role in production and as well as in the consumption. So they play a key role in producing the goods, and finally human resources are the final consumers of the goods. Okay, so in the production and as well as in the consumption also they are playing the vital role. So that is the reason they will play an important or significant role in deciding the economic development of a country. So while studying about the human resources, in this unit we will study the size of the population at a particular time and their growth rate, their composition, means how many percentage of children are there in the entire population, the number of oldest people and the number of youth, what is the percentage of youth. This is called the composition of the population, and how the heavy population growth is adversely affecting the development process also in developing countries, mainly in developing countries just like India. So heavy population growth is an obstacle to the development. So due to heavy population growth, developing countries are facing the problems of unemployment and the poverty, which all are studied in this unit. So in this unit, the first topic is theory of demographic transition. This is asked for 10 marks. So now I am explaining the theory of demographic transition. First, this theory was propounded by W.S. Thomson and P.W. Notestein. According to them, there will be a close relation in between birth and death rates and the growth rate of the population in the economy. So it means birth and death rates, or the changes in the birth and death rates are influencing the growth rate of population, and finally it will influence the economic development of a country. According to E.Z. Dolan, the theory of demographic transition refers to which starts with a population cycle which starts with the fall in the death rate, and it will continue with the rise in the birth rate and will be concluded with a fall in the birth rate. My children, and according to them, there are 3 stages in the theory of demographic transition. Each and every country in the world will possess the 3 stages of the theory of demographic transition, whether the country is rich or poor, irrespective of development also. Definitely all the rich countries or poor countries, all are possessing the 3 stages of the theory of demographic transition. Okay, children, I will explain the 3 stages of the theory of demographic transition with the help of the table and the diagram. Okay, and finally this theory was propounded by W.S. Thomson and P.W. Notestein. According to them, birth and death rates will influence the growth rate of the population. Finally, growth rate of the population will influence the development of a country. So it means there is a close relation in between the death and birth rates and economic development of a country. And according to this theory, each and every country is possessing through the 3 stages in the theory of the demographic transition. So now I am going to explain the 3 stages in the theory of demographic transition. In the first stage is characterized by high birth rates and high death rates. high birth rates and high death rates. Children, in this table, first I had given the stages, next birth and death rates, later status of economy. Finally, in case of India, what is the status of India? Means India is in which stage of the theory of the demographic transition. All are explained in this table. So in the stage 1 is characterized by the high birth rates and high death rates. In the stage 1, the economy is agrarian in nature. Means children, more amount of the labor force are depending upon the agriculture for their livelihood. So in the first stage, due to high birth rates and high death rates, the population doesn't increase rapidly. Means both are high birth rates and high death rates, two are very high. That is the reason a balance is created in the economy. So that is the reason population growth is more or less stable in this stage due to high birth rates and high death rates. And what are the reasons for the high death rates? Why the death rates are more in the agrarian economy? Whenever people are depending upon the agriculture for their livelihood, they will get the lesser incomes. Okay, with the lesser incomes, they are unable to, that is, consume the nutritious food. So they will consume the low quality food, that is a poor diet, and also sanitation is not good. Next, they don't have the better educational facilities, and spread of epidemics, that is smallpox, cholera, malaria, plague. So, and also medical facilities are not available to them. Pure drinking water also not available. Their irrational outlook also one of the cause for the high death rate. Okay, these are the reasons for the high death rates. Economy is agrarian nature. Whenever more amount of labor force are depending upon the agriculture for their livelihood, they won't get the better incomes due to low productivity in the agriculture. So that is the reason they are unable to get the quality food. So because of poor diets, lack of medical facilities, and with the high spread of the epidemics, contagious diseases, and lack of education, so an irrational or unscientific outlook, so mostly so many people will die. So these are the reasons for the high death rates. And what are the reasons for the high birth rates? So whenever more labor force are depending upon the agriculture for their livelihood, so they thought that more children are the asset to the family. Without why? Because agriculture requires more amount of the labor force. So without hiring the labor from the outside, so if they are producing more children, they are useful in the field, to work in the field. Okay, so they will thought like that. And also children provide the security in the old days. They will look after the parents in the old days. They will thought like that. They wouldn't prefer the, that is, small family. And also due to lack of education also, they do not realize the importance of the small family. And also children, the reasons for the high birth rates are social beliefs, that is superstitions. Some people thought that having son is a very important issue. Why? Because if they won't have the son, after the death they will go to the Purnama Naraka. Okay, they will go to the hell. That is the reason in the village areas so many people wait for a son. In this process they are going on giving birth to number of girl child. And in some in the minds of some people, children are the God's gift. That is the reason they wouldn't prefer the family planning operations also. So because of so many reasons, because of the superstitions and social beliefs, they do not give priority to the small family. So because of all these reasons, the birth rates are very high in the first stage of the theory of demographic transition. Due to high birth rates and high death rates, high birth rates are coupled with the high death rates. So a balance is created in the economy. So that is the reason population growth rate is more or less stable. Why population doesn't increase rapidly. And the status of economy is underdeveloped economy. And India, before 1921, India is in the first stage of the theory of the demographic transition. Next one, in the second stage of the theory of demographic transition, we can find the high birth rates and low death rates. Okay, so here, what are the reasons for the low death rates? The reasons for the low death rates are, in the process of development, government will try to find out the medicines. Scientists will try to find out the medicines for the contagious diseases, that is epidemics. Somewhat they will be controlled: smallpox, cholera, dengue, malaria, plague, so influenza. These are all mostly controlled. So it is one of the reasons for the low death rates. And in the development process, employment also created. So people are getting the better employment, so their incomes will increase. They are able to, whenever income is more, they are able to consume the nutritious food, and availability of education facilities, medical facilities, and pure drinking water, better sanitation. These are all resulting the low death rates. And what are the reasons for the high birth rates? Some sections of the people, those who are living in the rural areas, are not able to get the benefits of the development. So a mass section of the population, those who are depending upon the agricultural sector, they do not change their social beliefs, and to them education facilities are not available, so they won't change their irrational outlook. They thought that more children are the asset to them. That is the reason they won't prefer the small family due to lack of education. Also, they don't know about the importance of the small family. Okay, so that is the reason, due to their irrational outlook and social beliefs, not having the educational facilities. So, and education changes attitude of the people towards the family, but they wouldn't have the educational facilities. That is the reason they don't know about the importance of the small family, and also they are depending upon the agriculture, most of the population in the rural areas. So hence they are giving high priority to have more number of children in their families. So that is the reason birth rates are increasing more and more. But due to better sanitation, which is available to most of the sections of the people, and nutritious food and employment opportunities, rising income levels, enabling the people to have the better standard of living, so and control of the epidemics, these are all resulting the low death rate. So the status of the economy is developing. Okay, now India is a developing economy, but since 1921, India entered into this stage in the year of 1921. So from 1921 onwards, in our India, the population is increasing rapidly. Why? Because birth rates are not declining sharply, but death rates are declining sharply. So this is resulting, the high birth rates and low death rates are resulting the rapid growth of the population. So India experienced the rapid growth of population in between the years of 1951 and 1991. In between the years, in India population growth is more than 2% per annum, 2.2 to 2.4% per annum. The growth rate is in this period. Okay, so whenever the birth rates are high and death rates are low, so it results a heavy growth rate of the population. It is also called population explosion. Okay, so India entered in the second stage of the theory of demographic transition in the year of 1921, and still also we are in the second stage of the theory of demographic transition. Okay, children. So 1921 year is called a year of great divide. Why? Because then onwards we are experiencing the high growth rate of the population in our India. So next one, third stage. In the third stage of the theory of demographic transition, birth rates are low and death rates also low. The status of the economy is a developed economy. So when India reaches into this stage, we didn't know. Okay guys. So what are the reasons for the low birth rates and the low death rates? In the development process, the urbanization will speed up. Means due to industrialization, urbanization will speed up. Whenever development process, the government is establishing more number of industries. At that time, the people from the rural areas will migrate to the urban areas to get the employment. So this is called the urbanization. The migration of the people from the rural areas to the urban areas is called the urbanization. So urbanization results the small families. Why? Because whenever the people are migrating from rural areas to urban areas, so they realize the fact that is in the urban areas the cost of living is very high, and women also have to work, have to engage in the productive activity. Why? Because cost of living is very high in the city areas. That's why there is a need to the women to engage in the productive activity for the sake of the family. So whenever women is engaging in the economic activities, that is production activity, at that time bringing more children is a risky task to her. Okay, having more children is creating problems to her. That is the reason she will realize that the importance of the small family. So whenever the women is engaging in the productive activity, definitely they will give the priority to the small family. And also observing the others in the society also, they realize the importance of the small family, and due to that is improved transportation, communication, and they are getting the nutritious food and better sanitation, better pure drinking water, and better medical facilities, better education facilities. These are all resulting the low death rate, and their irrational outlook will be changed whenever they are migrating to the city areas. Okay, so women employment is essential at that time. That is the reason whenever women is engaging in the productive activity, definitely they will give the importance to the small family. And education also changes the attitude of the people, that is towards the small family. They will give priority to the small family. So that is the reason low birth rates are low and death rates also low in the third stage of the theory of demographic transition. So the nature of the status of the economy is developed economy. So all the developed countries in the world, USA, UK, Germany, Japan, so these are all in the third stage of the theory of demographic transition. In the developed nations, people are enjoying the better standard of living. And when India will reach the third stage, whenever we are controlling the population growth, definitely there is a scope to reach the third stage of the theory of demographic transition. Okay, these are the three stages of the theory of demographic transition. So each and every country in the world must possess the three stages in the theory of demographic transition. And this theory will be explained with the help of the diagram also. And this table and the diagram are explaining how the primitive economy is transformed into the modern economy or industrialized economy is explained by that is this table and the diagram. In the first stage, the economy is agrarian in nature and it is a primitive economy. But in the third stage, the economy is becoming the developed economy or industrialized economy. Okay, the transformation of the economy, that is from underdeveloped to the developed one, is explained with the help of the table and the diagram also. In this diagram, on x-axis, on horizontal axis, we shown the time period, and on the vertical axis we shown the birth and death rates in the economy. Children, from O to T, it is the first stage. T to T1, it is the stage 2. And after T1, it is the third stage. In the first stage, birth and death rates are very high. Both are high in the first stage of the theory of demographic transition. That is the reason population doesn't grow rapidly. Why? Because high birth rates and high death rates means high birth rates are coupled with the high death rates. Population doesn't increase rapidly. So population growth rate is stable. So it is not a dangerous stage. And nature of the economy is underdeveloped and agrarian in nature economy is. And in the second stage, so this stage is not dangerous to the economy. Next, second stage, birth rates are high but the death rates are falling. So whenever death rates are low and birth rates are high, so it creates the problems in the economy. Due to it creates the population explosion. Population grows in a dangerous way. Population grows in a rapid way. Okay, so whenever population is growing in a dangerous way, it creates unemployment problem, and crime in the society increases. It increases the poverty, and so many problems we have to experience. Okay, we have to face number of problems. So it is a dangerous situation. Second stage is very dangerous. Now India is experiencing this stage. Now means not only now children, in between 1951 to 1991, in those years we experienced this stage. But in our India now the population growth is somewhat low. It means comparing to the previous years, that is the growth rate, the death rates are low and birth rates also declining slowly. Okay, not sharply but slowly. So now the present the birth rate, the population growth rate in our India is 1.64% per annum. So before that it is 2.2 and 2.4%. So the birth rates are also declining, but it is slow movement, not sharply. Okay, this stage is a dangerous stage which creates number of problems in the developing countries. Okay, mostly we are also experiencing the same problems. And after that, in the third stage, birth rates will fall and death rates will fall. So population doesn't increase in a rapid way. So this stage, all the developed countries are experiencing this stage. So we hope that India also will reach the third stage within the short period of the time by implementing the number of family planning programs and the population policies. But children, to reach to the third stage, India, as government is putting its efforts, but the cooperation of the public is needed to reach the third stage. Okay, children, we hope the best. Okay. Thank you, children, for watching my class. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, share it. So don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you, children.